Welcome back to the Blazor Server In-Depth course. In this lesson, we're going to be covering creating pages. Now, you've already done this once, and you probably figured out how to do it, but I want to make sure that we are clear on how it works, how the layout works, and those types of things. So let's go to Visual Studio, create a new project, or create a Blazor app, call it Blazor app, and the solution name will be New Page Demo. Again, make sure all these details are the same as normal. Hit create. Close this out. And now let's talk about creating a new page. Now, if we just want to create a page, let's just call it our test page. Right-click on Pages, Add Not Eraser Page, which I know is confusing because the extension is .razor. But this indicates that it's a component, a Razor component, which is a Blazor page. So add new item, Razor component, which is a Blazor page. So we're going to call this our test or test.razor, whichever you want, because either way it's going to add that .razor at the end. Now notice it says test, it's got the H3 tag, and it's got the code section, but what it doesn't have is an indication of a page. So for example, we'd say at page/test, like so. And now it's the test page. Actually, let's keep it lowercase to match the normal syntax. So that's how you create a Blazor page, is to create a Razor component and then put the at page at the top of it. Now if we run this and we go to /test, we'll be able to access this page. All right. Page on the navigation bar, test page, and there you go. There's our test page. So that's how you create a basic page underneath that same folder of pages. Now that's going to get pretty crowded pretty quick. So you may ask yourself, well, how do I organize this into some kind of structure that works for me? Like maybe we can create a folder that's, I don't know, let's call it demos. And then everything that's a demo will go in there. Well, we can move the Razor page into that. So now the Razor page has been moved. So now this is in the demos folder inside of pages. So I just moved it. Let's run this again. And I want you to see that nothing really changes. Test page still goes to test. So why is that? Because it doesn't get the path from the folder path. It gets the path from whenever we gave it. Now, to be consistent with a naming convention, it would probably make sense to have /demos/test in order to kind of indicate that where it is in the hierarchy of things. But that is up to you. You don't have to do that. You can keep it just /test and remove this /demos, and that'll work just fine, even though it's in a subfolder. But if we did this, then we go over a nav menu and just make sure that we change the path to be demos/test. And now with that, we should be able to still access that page even though it's on a new path. So there you go. There's a test page, and there's our new URL with demos/test. All right. So you can create components all you want in the folders. So I say new item, razor component, give it a name, demo2, and then you have to give it that at page directive. So in this case, I would want to follow the structure to be helpful. So demos/demo2, and now we can access that in our web application. So /demos/demo2, and there's our demo2 page. Test page is over there, and so on. Okay, so that's really all there is to create a page. Just create a razor component, and that will be a Blazor page as long as you give it the page directive at the top. Now, obviously, whatever content you put on there is up to you. Where you put the content is right in this middle section right here where you have right now just the H3 demo2. You can put all your HTML and CSS, or actually not CSS probably, HTML and classes and markup and all the rest. You put all that in that section, and then you still have a section for your code, your C# code, and you're good to go. That's your full page. That's what, for example, fetch data. So we have our page directive and a using and an inject, but then we have our HTML, and then down here we have our code. That's the basic structure for a Blazor page or a razor component. They're kind of the same thing. So I don't want to belabor this because I think you get it. It's just right-click, add, new item, razor component, name it, and now you have a new page once you add the at page directive at the top with your path. Doesn't matter where you put in the folder structure, so you can create a folder structure that works for you, whether it's based upon area, so accounts and transactions and whatever you want to do there, or you can do it based upon the whatever structure works for your organization. Okay, whatever you want to do is fine in this folder structure. Just whatever you do, make sure you make it make sense. And if it doesn't, the cool thing is you can drag and drop these into new folders and it won't change anything. It won't break anything. So even though the paths might not match up with a folder structure, the folder structure should still give you a nice look at how things are laid out. And you can add a second page directive to have a second path for the page so that you can add that new way of doing things and still support the old way of doing things. So there's a little bit of flexibility there. But this is how you create pages in Blazor. So that's it for this lesson. Practice what you've learned. Just create a few pages, see how they work, name the different things, create different menu items for them, go to them, see how they interact with each other. And once you're done that, come on back for the next lesson.